Test, test, test. Hello, I'm just testing for those that are already there watching. Hello, hello, hello. You are super early, and that is what I love to see. Don't I look so fancy? Go get yourselves ready. Rose, if you can hear me, if you can see me, let me know. Just send us another message. Let's know what the crack is there. But so far, so good. So, hear me. So far, so good. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 9, 11, 47, 12. Da, 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 da. See if go back. How exciting. It's probably not exciting then if you can't hear or see me. No. Hmm. Sorry, check it myself. Oh god, it's me. Yeah, can hear myself. Kinda alright. Alright, alright, alright. So I will see you guys that are on creeping already at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock if you're around the corner from me. hello. Does anybody else feel unstoppable today, or is it just me? Because I gotta be honest, that is my standard go-to. Feeling unstoppable, feeling great, feeling amazing. But beyond that, I may as well introduce myself because we have had hundreds of people that have registered and I don't know most of you. So my name's Sean McGeough. I'm also known as Psychic in the City, and welcome to my free 2-day virtual spiritual summit. And yes, I did get all dressed up for an online event, even the trousers, socks, and aftershave. So hello everybody that is joining. I should probably hit record and do that bit again, I suppose. So yes, welcome everybody to my free 2-day virtual spiritual summit. My name is Sean McGeough. I'm also known as Psychic in the City. I'm an international medium, spiritual mentor, best-selling author. Oh God, there's a lot of things that I do, but I don't want to sound like I'm bragging because this weekend isn't about me. I am just the host. That is just how it is. Does anyone else think I'm looking really good in this green and brown combo? Does anybody else think that I look like a bit of a gay professor that you'd see in America somewhere? So hello people, I'm hoping that you're really enjoying the broadcast room and you're going to really enjoy the guest speakers. But you know, why not just talk about myself a little bit first of all? So like I say, I'm a psychic medium. I'm currently in Europe on tour. That's what I'm doing. I'm teaching, I'm demonstrating, I'm providing readings as best as I can because I have a massive waiting list, and I'm also the author of the international best-selling book Tarot for Modern Times, the only tarot workbook that you'll ever need. I started reading the tarot in my teens. I was around 13 or 14, which is hard to believe. That's only a few weeks ago, isn't it? And you know, over the years, the decades at this point of doing tarot readings and house parties and reading for friends and family and all of this type of stuff, I began to see things in the tarot that weren't textbook answers, you know, weren't traditional old school type of answers. So I began to document all these different things that I was seeing within the tarot, and there comes my book. It is a workbook. It's not a like how-to. It's a let's learn and love this book and love the tarot as much as I do. And I will be doing tarot readings a little later on today. So I just wanted to let you know that the book, and I will be giving away a couple of copies of the book today and tomorrow. But in order for you to be in for a chance to win a free signed copy of my book, what I want you to do, those that are watching either live or the recording, I want you to take a screenshot right now, if you can, of me holding my book. Take a screenshot of me holding my book, and if you're able to, right now, go on to Facebook and post it and tag me or my page, Psychic in the City, or wait until we're done. And make sure you send me the friend request or like my page, and I will pick, or one of my team will pick one person or two people for that. So that's take the screenshot of me holding the book, so I know that you want to win the book, and quite possibly maybe a free tarot reading to go with it. Oh, my lights are flickering. I don't know if you can see that with my ring light on. But anyway, I am super excited to be bringing you this summit, this virtual spiritual summit. I've been working as a medium for 10 years. It's been my full-time job. I've just passed the 10-year mark. I teach. I love seeing people come into their own spiritual abilities and capacities. And throughout my career, I've done a wide range of work, and I've worked with so many fascinating people that aren't just mediums. Things like mindset coaches, mindfulness experts, other mediums, yes, absolutely. You know, I have worked with astrologers, psychotherapists, doctors, and hypnotherapists, transpersonal psychologists. And you know, I do what I do, and I help my clients as best as I possibly can, whether that be through private sittings or through my accredited training programs. And through doing that and the work that I do, the research that I've done, like I say, I have met a wide range of people that aren't just mediums, but help me, help my clients, and we all work together. And that's the reason why I decided to put together this summit. It's not just so you can sit and hear, oh, when I was 13, I got my first deck of tarot cards. Buy the book, you know what I mean? You'll get that story there. But I wanted to bring these people that I've worked with, that have worked with me, that we have helped each other, that we are all experts in our fields, doing our own thing. I see someone has sent me a photo. Post it on Facebook and tag me in it. Love it. Thank you, Casey. It's starting already. Love, love, love it. Yes, and I decided to put this summit together because I want to help you guys. Whether you're on a spiritual journey, you've started it, you're on it a while, you're one of those creeps out there that signs up to everything I do but never talks to me, welcome. And if you're brand new and you're easily offended, you've came to the wrong place. Let me just say that to you. So I will go round and round in circles when I'm speaking because that's just kind of the way that I am. I'm very easily distracted, but I find that, why not at the end of the day? So this summit is designed to bring you, no matter where you are in life, different tips, hacks, life hacks, techniques, things that you can do to live a more fulfilled life, being your most beautiful, authentic self that you can be. And I am so, so, so excited to be able to bring these people to you, speaking about different things. This isn't just medium after medium after medium telling the same thing, or Belfast person after Belfast person after Belfast person. These are people that I've met from different countries, from different places, from different backgrounds, and we're going to really just get into the thick of it. So that's pretty much that, really. And we are going to start with one of the most taboo topics that you can get in the spiritual community and the spiritual movement, because I know whenever I first started doing readings professionally as a career medium 10 years ago, there was nobody that I could really ask for business advice because money was a taboo topic. I shouldn't have been money focused or orientated, or I shouldn't have been, trying to figure out how to do fucking taxes, because all the other people at that stage, they didn't know. So I was like, what? And then people within the spiritual community, and I find especially guys that are local, although I'm in Malta at the moment, but guys that are local back home, there's real crazy money beliefs, money paradigms, all these points of views about money that just keep people stuck. And that's why I asked a good friend of mine, Linda Carmichael, who is a PGI consultant, a Bob Proctor coaching consultant. She coaches the program Thinking into Results. And Linda is an absolute expert whenever it comes to helping coach people, to coach her clients through these limiting beliefs that they would have, and to really help her clients achieve more and smash those absolute limiting beliefs. And I seen Linda popped up there, so I thought, why not take her on a few minutes early? Hello, Linda.
Hi.
Of course, we are being Mr. and Mrs. Extra, getting fancy dress. I love it. I'm opening the champagne when we're done, by the way.
I love that idea. I've got a nice bottle of Bollinger. Calling my name. It's calling my name.
I hope you're sending one my way as well. So, Linda, welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of my virtual spiritual summit, and for just getting straight in there to talk about that word in the spiritual community that's taboo, that's dirty, that's a bad word. And I don't mean fuck, it's money.
Money, mulaka, cash.
Exactly. So before we even get into that topic, Linda, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me along today. You know me, I love a good talk, and there's nothing more I love to talk about than mindset and money. So my story began back in 2019. I still have the business. I was running this product-based business, and I reached my ceiling with regards to how much money I could earn. And I just couldn't understand why. I was a smart girl. I was working hard. How come I couldn't break through this barrier? And I came to the realization that perhaps I needed some help. And I realized it wasn't the outside world that was affecting me. I thought, it's got to be me. It's got to be me. So I got into mindset and personal development. And literally my life transformed. And I know, Sian, you've known me for a good few years. You have seen where I started and where the things I achieved were beyond what I would call logical sense.
Yeah.
Like even my husband was looking at me going, how are you doing that? And I'm like, oh, my mind.
The spiritual laws, the universal laws, understanding the mind, and a small product-based business, which was what you had when we first met, exploded.
Exploded to the top 1% of the world globally. I'm number 5 in the UK, and I'm probably around 500 in the world globally out of 4.2 million others. You're welcome.
Well done.
That surprises me, but the niche that I was in, that market told me, I had learned from years that artists couldn't be successful. You needed to cut off your ear or die before you made money, real serious cash. And I was literally turning all of those things around. And basically, like, I was brought up to believe that, you went to school, you got a good job, maybe to get a degree, you had to be smart, only smart people get paid lots of money, you had to be a doctor or a lawyer. I was none of those things. I got to school and I got a degree, but I was a very average C grade student. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be a lawyer, I'm not going to be a doctor. But I was earning more than a doctor. And I was having fun doing it. And I wasn't doing 12-hour shifts because I was doing something that I loved. So then back then into 2021, all my life, without realizing it, I was always really guided by my intuition, but I didn't know what it was. I just had a gut feeling. Most people recognize that gut feeling. And although I would describe myself as a spiritual person now, then I didn't really know what it was. But now I do understand what it was. And so I was guided last year to go all in. And I remember at the start of that particular year, because it was May 2021, saying to myself, my gosh, this mindset work is amazing. Like, I study every day. Most days, apart from maybe on holiday, I might take a wee break, but most days I am studying nearly every single day. And I thought, how can I make myself committed to this work? Well, I wrote a check for $30,000 and I became a PGI consultant, which I couldn't have done unless I'd done the work with my other business, because I used that money to invest in this. And now I have the absolute pleasure, and I don't say that, I'm not like blowing hot air around. I truly mean that. It's an absolute pleasure to teach people how to achieve any goal through a method called Think It Into Results. And this is a method that was created by Bob Proctor, who some of you may know from the movie The Secret. He was famed through that. And it's based on 60 years of science and research on the most successful people around the world.
It's a remarkable program. It's a remarkable amount of information. It's simple and it's counter logical, not even counterintuitive. It's anti everything that we've been taught growing up. But yet, whenever you learn these systems, these ways of thinking, these ways of looking at the world and understanding you and your mind and the spiritual laws, the universal laws, it's so simple, so effective, and it's always in motion, is what I find. And people try, at least I find, when I try to talk about, use your affirmations, think positive, and they go away and they do it for a week, and then they'll come back and see me the next week and go, well, that didn't work. This law of attraction stuff is a load of nonsense. And I'm like, okay, so you think the law of attraction is a load of nonsense because you tried to think once over a week, tried to think positive, yet you're still negative and you're still in a crappy situation. What did you really attract in? The crap that you were thinking?
Yeah. The law of attraction responds to the paradigm. And the paradigm is basically, it is a group of, it's like a programming inside of us, and it's a multitude of habits. And these habits are they express themselves through our behavior. And it's our behavior that causes our results. So if you have a negative paradigm when it comes to thinking positively or having those positive thoughts and thinking about what you desire rather than thinking about what's actually in front of you and the stuff that you don't want, that's the only thing that the law of attraction will respond to, is our paradigms. And that's the work that I do. I teach people how to reprogram their paradigm from negative ones to positive ones. Now, we do have some positive paradigms, and they're not all negative. Otherwise, we'd all be a big mess in all areas of our lives. But look at us. yes, me and Shannon here, we're dressed and we're presentable and we've got jobs and we're earning money. So we've got some good paradigms there.
Yep.
And it's not about focusing always on the negative. When it comes to what paradigm should I change, whatever one's keeping you from your goal, that's the one that you want to focus on. And when we talk about mindset really means that you are setting your mind on a frequency of what you desire.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes more. Like you talked about people that, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work. They tried it for a week and they're like, nothing worked. Your paradigm could have you in the habit of always thinking negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Your paradigm could have your imagination in the habit of coming up with the crap ideas. So you're like, I'm going to change my world. I'm going to think of a really good business idea. But if your paradigm is habitually always using your imagination against you, you're not going to come up with these amazing ideas that is going to change your world. That is how powerful they are. I love sharing this analogy, where if somebody is thinking about releasing some weight and they're on a diet, they're on a health kick, and you think, oh, I've got control. And, next thing you know, you're walking towards the fridge and you see a slice of cake in that fridge and you're like, oh my goodness, a logical, normal person, I've got complete control of my arms. Look at me, I'm an able-bodied person. There's something in that fridge that I know I should not be eating will keep me from my goal. I lose the power from my hands. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you go into my mind, I can't control it. But it's the paradigm that's controlling it. They are so powerful. It's not just this kind of woo-woo thing in your mind. Like, it has such power in your actual body. It's the stuff that keeps us, moves us forward and keeps us back. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting work, and it's such a game changer when you master it.
Absolutely. I know. And it's, for those that are watching and listening today, it's always a case of learning to master. You get awareness, you'll understand where you're at, and you think, oh my god, I'm here, but I want to be over there now, and then I'm over here and I want to be over there now. So it's always a case of growth, because you're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. You're never really standing still. And the likes of Linda and her work, what she does is, and if I could put it my way, is hit you a boot in the backside to get you moving forward.
Yeah, really, when it comes to life, and especially when it's your own life and your own business, and you don't have to be in business to work with someone like me. I help individuals of all walks of life. You just have to there's a few things you have to accept. Number one, you have to understand that, you have potential to do more, and you're willing to do whatever it takes, and you will accept responsibility for that. Because, we take ourselves out of that victim mode. It's no longer blaming everyone. I used to be pointing the finger like, oh, it's the economy. Oh, it's because I'm not smart enough. Or, oh, it's because such and such say that to me and now I feel bad about it. None of that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's all down to you. And once you make that decision, that's what just changes everything for everybody. So yeah, a professional boot you in the bum, but you've got to be ready for it. If you aren't prepared to put in the work, then it's not going to change. As you said, you can't think positive for a week and expect your life to change. This is a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's not just something you pick up. People say, oh, the law of attraction, I think I might pick that up again and do some manifesting. Honey, you're manifesting every single day, every single hour. You can't just pick it up.
Yep. Manifesting is not just the good. It's the crappy relationship. It's the difficult job. It's the poor health. It's every situation. They have been manifested. It's not just I'm manifesting a new home or a car or a home by the beach in Europe, as was in my case, but it's absolutely everything. But you got to understand it, those money beliefs, you need to work on those, guys, and that's the thing. Especially Belfast people, Northern Irish people, Northern Ireland people, as we know, the beliefs around money are absolutely crazy. And what would be one of I know common's probably not the right word, but a running theme you would find with clients in money beliefs?
Well, I would say that's probably one of the main reasons why people come to work with me. Is they want to know how to, some people are unhappy in their life, but they really generally want to make money because they've identified that money is, whether they know it or not, it's one of the things that is stopping them. So they're like, okay, I need more money. I can't do the things that I want. And like, I have some tips for basically when you want to attract more money in your life. It's all about how you handle your money. Okay. And I know right now, we've been speaking that outside the world, there's a bit of a financial crisis going on. You can call it whatever you want, but that's external. I teach my clients to create their own economy. Mm-hmm. You are your own economy. And that can be a difficult term sometimes for people to understand straight away. But just hear me out, okay? Because as long as you're living from the outside and you are taking your decisions from what's going on the outside, rather than creating new ideas and taking decisions from your own faith and beliefs from the inside that you've created, those positive paradigms, you're always going to be in this money mental prison that you've created. And what I would say for advice to go towards your financial goals, regardless of what's going on outside, is focus on the brick, not the wall. Okay? You got to start small, because if you have issues with money, coming to me and I would say, oh, Shan, let's just go for £1 million. You'd be like, what? Sure, I've never earned more than 20 in a year in my life. Like, what are you talking about? Your mind would just close down and the conversation would be over. So focus on the brick, not the wall. Start where you are and start creating healthy money habits to build your strong money mindset. Because you can come into a lot of money, but if you don't have a strong money mindset, it'll go. So when I come to mindset, when I teach mindset, I'm all about, although I'm very spiritual and I just have deep faith in this, it was very easy for me. And you can tell by my results, I achieved a lot very quickly. Some people, their faith is tested, so they need a little bit of help. So I'm all about the tangible ideas to help you shift your mindset. The first thing is, make sure you've got money in your life by saving a little bit. Get used to your bank account seeing money in it. Mm-hmm. And it could be just like a few pounds, few dollars a week, and get comfortable with seeing money in your bank account. And the other one, and I've got a funny story about this as well, is carry cash on you. Yeah. Remember, everything is energy. The thoughts that we think, the words that we speak, the material things, cash is energy. Mm-hmm. So it makes perfect sense if you're holding it onto you. Now, what I do is I carry large notes, so large value notes. And if you're somebody who think, oh my goodness, Linda, if I had a couple of £50 notes in my purse, I'd have that spent like this. I get it. I've got a trick for you. And I do this. I hold large amounts of money in foreign currencies.
Love it. I used to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Your $100, your €100, 500 euros, whatever it is. And always have it with you. Get used to having money on your person. Okay. And my mother-in-law told me a story about my father-in-law. Now, he's passed away some 8 years. So this is about, he's been 90 odd years now. So say this is about 60 years ago. Everybody got paid in cash. He used to carry absolutely every last penny in his pocket that he owned, in his front pocket. Because it made him feel abundant. Mm. He didn't understand what he was doing because he was an unconscious competent. And I did not, I heard the story the first time, I thought, that's a wee bit reckless, carrying all of your money that you own in one pocket. But when I studied this material, I was like, that is the impression of increase he's giving himself. How powerful was that? Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
So, saving money every week, getting used to holding money in your person. More than ever, like we don't use cash anymore, but we can't see money, so we're getting disconnected with it. The other thing is the law of increase. Be grateful for the money that you have, okay? Giving gratitude for whatever you have, even if it's just a few pounds in your account. Stop saying you've got no money when you've got money. Mm-hmm. You say, oh, I've got no money. It's like, yeah, you do. You've got £20 in there, but maybe you don't have the 20 grand to buy the new car that you want. But you still have money.
Yep.
Okay. Law of attraction doesn't have a sense of humor. It's not laughing at you. It's like, she says she's got no money, so okay, I'm going to create circumstances to make sure that she's got no money.
Yep.
Okay. Your thoughts, your words are so powerful. That's one of the things. Like, oh, I've got no money. You do have money. There's money in the markets. Look at this nice top. Look at my chair. Look at my bookcase. Look at Shan's bowler neck. There's money.
There's money everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Like
a cup of coffee in your hand. That's money.
Mm-hmm. Our bottles of champagne, money.
Money, just different levels of money. But in mindset space, like we talk a lot about our belief system in regards to the amount of money that you earn, and it's so connected with your self-image and the value of you that you hold on yourself. But there's one thing that I want to delete from everybody's mind today, because I am sick of this. I am calling out BS on this. People who say, charge your worth. It's rubbish.
Oh, you're gonna piss so many people off. Keep going.
It is so damaging, because here is the deal. You guys are incredible human beings on this planet, and you are priceless. Okay?
Priceless. I want to repeat
Priceless.
that, guys. Priceless.
The value is placed on your service, what you do, whether you're employed or not. So if you're like, oh, you know, my boss only pays me this, that's not your value. That's just the value of the position that you're in.
Mm-hmm. Okay?
If you have a business, you're getting earned the value of the problem or the service you're providing. Okay? Bye-bye, charge your worth. Rubbish. People have been tricking it the wrong way and think, oh, I'm only worth 50K a year because my boss. I'm like, no, you're not. You're priceless. Okay? Yeah. That's the only thing anybody hears.
Who they are, I know.
Okay? To say goodbye to that.
Yeah.
That's rubbish. I know it came from a good place to help people like be confident in charging more money, but everything does have a value. Now, there's a surprising fact about money, and it is there's a lot of people afraid of money.
Mm-hmm.
Certain amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
People might say, Linda, what are you talking about? I want more money. Like, are you afraid of money? And I've got some symptoms of fear of money that might sound familiar. Remember, I'm all about the tangible stuff, okay? Avoiding paying your bills, even when you've got the money. Anybody put those things off? Like, oh.
That used to be me. Phone would be disconnected every month. And here, I'm man enough to admit it.
Right. The faster you pay your bills, and this is the thing, like there's people who live in poverty who actually have a lot of money because they have a fear of money. The faster you pay your bill, the faster the money comes back. That's just the way.
Oh, okay? Yes.
Are you somebody who maybe like filing the tax returns just freaks them out and they put it off? Sounds like, what are you talking to me?
I feel like you're having a go at me, Linda.
You know, well, like, I see people, I was this person too at one point, right?
I was there as well, yeah.
Scary bananas, because I had no understanding. I was ignorant. I had no knowledge. Okay, and I don't mean ignorant as rude. I had no knowledge of it, so it scared me. Okay, but what I was telling the universe was, Linda's scared of money. Don't bring her any. Don't create circumstances where she has to do big, massive tax returns because she doesn't like doing them. Mm-hmm. Now I don't like doing big, massive tax returns. Then I'm not going to earn the money to be doing them.
See,
this sounds so simple, but people are really missing the point. Or maybe you're waiting on your account to hit overdraft before you think, oh, better put some money in that. A bit like Shanley was waiting until his phone was disconnected before he could get the bill.
Yeah, I'd get 2 text messages and an email and be like, I'll do that. Oh shit, I can't ring anybody now, so I'll have to pay it.
I love that. Another thing is, if you're always waiting for the last moment to pay for things, that means, see, when you need money for something or you're desiring money for something, it's only going to show up at the last possible moment.
Yeah.
Now, you might think, happy days, at least it's going to show up. Not if you don't have faith to hold on to that last moment, which so many of us don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens then when we don't have the faith to hold on to the bitter end, because we're stretching, it gets really uncomfortable. Sometimes our back's against the wall and we can feel the terror coming. We end up sabotaging the whole thing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the law of attraction, always what you're sending, that signal you are sending out must come back to you by law. Now, just to kind of finish up that financial question, not a financial advisor, but one thing I did learn is that you should never rely on one stream of income. Multiple streams of income. When I heard this, I was like, say what now? I can have more than one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is so interesting. And this is not necessarily taking another job, because once trading time for money is the worst way to earn money, because eventually you run out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to look at things that are passive streams of income where you can earn money while you sleep. I remember this concept and think, money while you sleep, that sounds awesome.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not here to give you suggestions. This is just open your mind to, oh, I never thought about earning money while I sleep. I never thought about earning money without having to trade my time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that beyond having a job and maybe investing in a property, I could earn more money other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Loads of ways. Like, People make money by doing TikTok videos and they're dancing around like living the best life.
I literally know people that started investing £10 a week in stocks, and 5 years later, they've been able to cut their career hours in half and make up the difference while still reinvesting their money. You know, money moves quick, money circulates, we know this. But the things that me and Linda work with our clients with, it's not a get rich quick scheme. Like the things that I'm reaping the rewards of now is from a year and 2 years worth of work and investing and studying and doing. And I want to make it very, very clear, guys, like you do not need to be a PGI consultant or a medium or a tarot reader in order to do the things that me and Linda are talking about. I literally work with stay-at-home single mums. Linda would do the same thing. I've worked with people and came up with a business idea, a whole concept, because they turned around and went, I really love cleaning. Oh my God, why don't you start a cleaning company? And then that we go and doing a wee part-time job has literally, for 2 people that I know, has turned into having 4 employees each. And they don't have to do it anymore. So you don't have to be special or gifted, or you just have to do something.
Yeah, it helps if you like it, I would say. And I think that's the beauty of the work that we do, is because when you're so emotionally involved in your personal life and your business, often there's like, you're blindsided to things, you know, like really simple things. Like I remember speaking to a client and they were doing a live on Facebook and something came up and the time didn't suit. And I was like, well, and they were just going to cancel it. And I'm like, well, why don't you just do it early in the day? And they looked at me like, why didn't I think of that? And I'm like, because you're programmed not to think of great ideas. Your paradigms. And that seemed like, well, Linda, that sounds so obvious. Not to everybody. Not to everybody. They was like, oh, that time doesn't suit. Cancel it. It's a sign from the universe. Cancel it.
No.
And they take it so literally. And there's been different examples of where, you know, people get into this work and think, oh, I'm just going to take a sign from the universe. And I'm like, whoa, well,
not always how it works.
Yeah.
The universe responds to what you're giving it.
You know, there may be a case where you've been like there was an example where sometimes I work with people who don't even have jobs, and they're investing what they've got. They want to improve themselves, and I think that's the most powerful thing. And you know, they obviously were looking better jobs. They wanted to get paid more, and you know, they put it out to the universe to give them signs on what to do. And I had a call. They came back to me and they said they were quite rude. They told me to smarten up my dress. And I was like, remember when you asked the universe for ideas on how to improve yourself and get paid better and get better jobs? Don't be offended when it's something a wee bit personal. So simple. And then as soon as I realized, like, oh, because rather than being pissed off, oh, they were so rude, and my goodness, like, can you imagine they said that? Like, that's not appropriate. Like, and well, if you're looking at the answers, remember, law of attraction doesn't have a sense of humor. It's not being mean on purpose. It is working to get you your answer as fast as possible. And you're not always going to like it.
Law of attraction, give me the money, let's change the beliefs. But Linda, why can I not win the lottery with the law of attraction? And believe me, that was asked whenever I sent out an email. What will be asked, Linda? Can I use the law of attraction to win the lottery? It's almost as good as my clients in a tarot reading going, can I have the lottery numbers? Over to you, Linda.
Well, settle in, peeps. You might want to take some notes. This one's got a couple of layers. What I'm going to say is I will contradict myself, okay? For the example of completely explaining this. I'm going to say, no, it's not possible to win the lottery with the way that you are referring by using the law of attraction. But listen till the end, okay? Don't get the pitchforks out just yet. One of the biggest mistakes I think that's taught by the law of attraction is that you can do anything with it, okay? And it has no limits. And that's not technically true, okay? And then what happens with that is you change this beautiful, big, powerful law, and it's kind of reduced to a load of wee-wee. And people say, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. Okay. And like, this is my explanation. Okay. And I'll start off with a question. Can someone use the law of attraction to make the law of attraction stop working for somebody else?
Oh.
Okay. And I ask this question because the law of attraction is real, but it cannot violate any other natural laws. Okay. You can't make the sun vanish by using the law of attraction. And for anybody who thinks that they might, please don't even try it, okay? Please don't do it. And the other thing about winning the lottery is it's actually governed by another law. It's called the law of mathematics. Okay?
I can barely spell. Thanks for ruining that one for me.
So this is what I'm talking about. All the laws have to work together, have to work in harmony with each other. And even just saying winning the lottery, it's not specific enough request for the law of attraction to give you what you want, okay? It can fulfill this by simply giving you a lucky dip or, a tenner with 3 numbers.
That's a win.
Technically, you've won the lottery. And the next part of this is, and this is really why I teach my clients about building a money mindset, okay? It's so important because I would suspect that the people that ask you the question, like, how do I win the lottery with the law of attraction? Winning the lottery isn't actually what you really want. What you really want is free, easy money.
Yep.
And if so, you're asking for the wrong thing.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to receive money, you need to name a specific amount. Okay. Because asking for more money, the law of attraction would consider, you finding a pound coin on the street, more money. Okay. You need to be specific. More is not enough. It's too vague. It's too wishy-washy. Okay. And I want, you can take it a moment and imagine your subconscious mind is like a jet and there's a nice sexy pilot in it. It's full of fuel. Sean's getting excited. His interest is piqued.
Sexy pilots, sign me up.
And I can take you anywhere on earth you want to go. And you said, take me to happy, please. You'll never get there because happiness is a feeling. Okay. And it's a state that's it's determined by choice. It's not some place you can go. But if you're like Sean and you want to travel to Europe and that makes you happy, law of attraction can help you work that out. And you are proof of the pudding.
Yep.
Okay. You got to put your requests in really accurately and plainly if you want them fulfilled. So if what you want, lots of money, and I would say most people here, everybody wants some more money.
Yeah.
Choose an amount, be specific. And I'm going to say this, but I'm really going to contradict myself again. It's ask something that you believe you can get and let the universe tell you how to get there. Now, I ask my clients to think of a number that they want, but they don't necessarily have to quite believe they can get it, because what I'm teaching people is how to build their belief systems, which means that they can focus on larger amounts of money without being triggered, without hearing that negative power go, you're crazy, what do you think you are? Like all that negative chatter. And that's done through this, creating this really strong belief system, okay? And our belief systems are like the glass ceiling. I talked about it earlier because I just couldn't believe I could get past this glass ceiling. And as you well know, Sean, we only receive what we believe.
Yeah.
That's just the rules, okay? The other point I want to say is universal consciousness is way smarter than us, and it knows the fastest way to your goal. And I would say to everyone, allow it to show you how to get there. Trying to limit the universe and how it provides your goal is really not a good idea. So I am getting back to the lottery, but I want to make this point too. Say, for example, you want to manifest your dream home. Okay. And you maybe have 50 things on the list about your dream home. And I encourage you to make those things on your list.
Yeah.
But if you're starting out, I would say focus on your non-negotiables. Okay. So the size of the house, where it is, do you want a house in the countryside beside the beach? How many bedrooms do you want? How many bathrooms do you want? Do you want a walk-in wardrobe? What are the things that are really non-negotiable? The fact if it has a red door or not essential, because you can paint the door, whether it's got electric gates or, what I mean? You can see how you can really, your paradigm is actually tripping you up. Your ego is making you think, well, you have to ask for everything. And if you don't get everything you want, then it doesn't work and you don't really believe. Right?
Yeah.
Non-negotiables. What do you really, really want? And I describe the journey to your goal like a river. So imagine you are standing at the source of a river. You're up on a big mountain, okay? And the ocean is your goal. The sea is your goal. And every obstacle, every requirement you put into your goal is a bend in the river. Okay? Has to have 6 bedrooms. It's got to be by the seaside. 6 bathrooms. This sounds like my house. Room for a pony. Electric gates. Must have solar panels and an outside swimming pool. There's so many of those things that you can do after you get the house. Focus on your non-negotiables, because honestly, we'll be here for years, meandering down this river to get to your goal. Now, let's go back to the fun part. Let's go back to manifesting the lottery. Now, I said you couldn't use the law of attraction to do it the way you were referring to, and you're going to find out why. Okay? If it is what you want to truly win the lottery, the law of attraction might work for you, and it'll show you a path how you can come into millions of dollars that you can in turn then spend on millions of tickets until you actually win the jackpot. You see what I'm saying? So, if winning the lottery is actually your goal, remember, we're talking about the law of mathematics. If you're not really, and I looked this up, there's a 1 in 14 million chance that you will select 6 numbers from 1 to 49. Well, let's just say for easy count, it's going to cost you $14 million.
I'd just rather that 14 million. Exactly.
But, and that is how simple it is, and that, remember, the law of attraction works really fast. It knows how to get there faster. The fastest way is for you to get 14 million so then you can spend a lottery tickets to win the lottery. That's what it's going to do.
Yeah.
And you don't develop any money mindset. This is why 70% of people who won the lottery are bankrupt or worse off.
Yeah.
They don't know how to hold on to money. Okay. I do encourage everybody to really study the law of attraction, how it really works. I've just showed some simple examples there, and you can see how quickly and easily you can be tripped up and be doing something negative to yourself. Okay. The law of attraction can absolutely lead you to achieve any goal you have. I will say this, caveat this with within the bounds of nature. Yeah. We're not turning into unicorns.
Well, I am, but
metaphorically speaking, it can do it really quickly and effectively for you. But this is another thing about the law of attraction. When it places a plan into your subconscious mind, law of attraction loves speed. You have got to take the action, okay? If you don't when this idea comes into your mind, we've all had I really want to earn so much, I could do this, and then you go, nah, and we don't do things. If you don't take action when you are prompted deep in your mind, the part of you that's connected to infinite intelligence, it's going to consider that you don't really want this requested thing and it doesn't materialize for you.
Absolutely.
So ask for the whatever it is you want, and then the universe will provide you the how. And then you got to act.
Yeah. 100%.
You can't just sit around and do nothing.
And I just want to touch about, I'm very aware of time and not taking up too much of yours, Linda. And the date is escaping me. I'm very aware that you have a goal setting workshop between Christmas and New Year's. Yes.
I do.
If you would be so kind to share that information, because setting that goal is the first step, guys. I got to where I am in this apartment under a minute from the beach. That whole from I'm doing this and making that decision was 9 weeks, and I was lying in bed broke mentally, emotionally, and also my bank balance. 9 weeks late, honestly. And my friend who's in a mastermind group with me, she pointed that out. She's like, you manifested that in 9 weeks, and I barely worked. Yet the thousands came in for me to do this.
I manifested a $100,000 car in 3 months. From having a 13-year-old car to a $100,000 car, 3 months.
So your goal setting workshop.
They do. So yes, Mike, it's called the Goal Creation Workshop because there is a science to creating goals, and there's a reason why they're New Year's resolutions and they're goals. And it's happening on the 29th of December You can connect with me on Instagram or through Facebook. There's a link to my website, and I'll update those details. It's absolutely free. Or you can join me in Zoom, or you can join in my Facebook group.
Awesome. Linda, thank you so much. And guys, yes, on our speakers page, there is the link to Linda's website. You can go and check out more about the work that she does. Believe me, this is not even the tip of the iceberg. This was just a conversation that we've had there, you know, and Linda is an expert in what she does. She is quickly moving up the ranks as a consultant for PGI, and I thought I was gonna nab her now before she got too big for me and turned me down.
No.
So I'm like, I'm getting the expert when I can. Linda, thank you so much. Guys, go and annoy Linda. Obviously, we have more things to be doing. Linda, you can go and watch the rest if you don't have your coaching calls just on the wee Summit broadcast room.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining my Summit today. And I know I'm going to rethink a few things today and get a bit more focus and clarity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for everyone who was listening today. It was a pleasure to teach you all.
Have a good one, and I shall see you soon.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Wasn't that absolutely fantastic? Money is such a taboo topic that so many people just they get so wrapped up in their own head about it, with those crazy beliefs of money's bad and money's the root of all evil and nah, 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 nah. And you know, it's just all these absolute crazy thoughts. And once you understand what money is and what it isn't, money is just a fucking vehicle for you to express yourself. You know, I read The Science of Getting Rich every single day. I absolutely have for at least this year, every single day. And I just see money for what it is. Money allows me to be more of myself, to do more good, to reach more people, to be able to run free events like this, like the broadcast room. This all cost money to do, but I didn't charge anything for that. I've taken a weekend off work, and weekends are a very busy time. And you imagine what I charge per hour over a couple of clients over a weekend, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. If I was in a scarcity mindset and a lack mindset, but I have more of an abundant mindset now. I have more of a mindset where I want to reach out and I want to help so many people, and I know that I'm going to be provided for. Imagine having that feeling. Imagine just waking up knowing that you will be provided for, knowing, believing, and experiencing that. And that comes through working on your mind. It really does, guys. And I love Linda and I love her work. I just think it's absolutely fabulous. I really do. Oh, there's my friend texting me there going, you manifested that in 9 weeks. Love it. So thank you guys for watching. We have still loads more to do. If you see me looking down, I'm just reading my schedule that is clearly wrong, because it's me and that's just how I do things. I do hope that you are enjoying so far. What did I want to talk about next? Time-wise, we have lots of time, which is super duper. I'm super excited about that. Now, as you know, with my virtual spiritual summit, I just really like saying that, okay? Don't judge me. With my virtual spiritual summit, that some of my guests were not able to make it on live, that they are, I've had to pre-record a few sessions, such as the one that is coming next, which is Penny Dix, aka Astro Coach, and I am going to play the interview. It's around 30 minutes as most of them are, and then we're going to come back, talk about some other stuff, and then do some more things. Very vague, but that's just to keep you interested. So I know that there may be people that have missed the start and are wondering why are people taking pictures and posting them on Facebook of Sean with his book. And I would like you to go ahead, if you want to win a free copy of my book, or maybe I'll be nice and send out a couple, screenshot or take a photo if you can of me holding the book. I'll do a sexy pose and all for you. No, please don't, post it, I don't really care. and post it on Facebook and tag me, Sean McGill, or my Psychic in the City page. And one of my team later on will pick some people to win signed copies of my book, and someone will win a private reading with me. Bear in mind, guys, I'm booked solid until the end of next year. So you're getting a freebie, you'll be getting it soon. You'll not be waiting a year. So take the photo, take the screenshot, post it on Facebook, and I am going to set up for the interview with Penny Dix, talking all about astrology, and she dives into my birth chart just a little bit, so you'll get to see a little bit about what type of person I am, and we all know crazy and very handsome. Enjoy. Hello everybody, I am super excited to be bringing to you a very good friend of mine, Penny Dix, also known as Astro Coach, and Penny is a fabulous astrologer and also a life coach, and she has a thriving practice for people coming to get their birth charts done, and also a YouTube channel that is just so fascinating and just so, it's booming, it really is. And you know, without me rushing on and telling everybody how you do what you do and why you do what you do, Penny, hello.
Hi, Sean, and wow, thank you so much for inviting me to be one of your guests, and I really wish you the best of luck with this whole weekend, because I think it's going to be super exciting. I know you've got some really interesting people that you're going to be discussing their particular kind of brand of spiritual work with. So I'll just tell you a little bit about me and what got me to this point, because basically I worked as a psychotherapist all my working life in the UK, and but alongside that I was learning astrology because I love it. It's something that I'm passionate about, and there's a particular astrologer in the UK who is probably more or less retired now, called Liz Green, and she was a psychoanalytical Jungian therapist.
Oh.
And she is one of the best astrologers in the world. So she combines psychotherapy and the kind of psychic or psyche understandings of psychology with astrology, and that's where I came in, because for me, working with astrology with psychotherapy and self-development, I can help people see how they can use the information of their natal chart along with the transits to see how and where they need to work with the energies in a positive and constructive way for them to manifest what they need to manifest in their lives. And you know, because sometimes it's like people may have problems with relationships or career or health, and it's really about saying to people, well, you know, this is perhaps why you're a bit stuck in this area. You know, it won't last forever, but also how you can use the astrology to find a different way to kind of navigate it. So, you know, meeting up with this Liz Green many years ago when I was only about 30, and everything she said to me in the reading just went straight over my head. I didn't understand what she was going on about at all. But now, with hindsight, I do. And so basically what brought me to this point, so I'll try and bring things into a kind of a, the bullet points, the headlines of what got me here, which is that at the beginning of 2020, so I was learning astrology again. I decided to really work with it, and I wanted to work with it professionally. So I had a teacher, lovely lady called Alison Chester Lambert, who's my sort of astrology teacher and mentor, and she's based in England. And we did our classes over like this. We used Skype. So we were just, you know, learning it. And I was doing it for 2 or 3 years before 2020. Now, during 2019, Alison had said to me, you really should be doing this properly now. You should be seeing clients. Why aren't you? And I was really, you know what it's like. I would think I was waiting for someone to give me permission. You know,
out the door.
yes, you know, even though I'm of an age, which I'll come to, I just sort of needed her approval. I needed her validation. And anyway, having been given it, I then started to sort of look at setting up a website, because I've been working on and off in Mortar and Gozo as a therapist and a sort of counsellor, coach. You know, listen, I call myself a life coach because people get frightened off by the word psychotherapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So actually, to call myself a coach, but you know, basically, you get what you get from me because it's all the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's from my training, my experiences, my life, my take on things. So that's what it's about. But in 2020, of course, at the beginning of 2020, we had a big conjunction between Pluto and Saturn, and astrologers worldwide knew this meant some big event was going to come that was going to kind of blow our minds.
Yeah.
Problem is with astrology, you can't really know exactly the nature of it. You can get a kind of an idea, but it's often more with hindsight that you think that's what it was about. But what we did know was that because Uranus is in Taurus, and Uranus is not comfortable in Taurus, Taurus is about money and the economy, and Uranus is about shocks. We knew that something unexpected was going to happen that was going to shock the world economy. Well, we know what happened. We had lockdown.
Yeah.
We had the pandemic. And actually there were other astrological indicators that reflected that. But, you know, if you start saying, oh, well, we're all going to be locked down for 3 years with a pandemic, I don't think it's going to encourage me to get clients.
Yeah, it's very and a very interesting point, Penny, because as you know, I do my mediumship, I do my tarot readings, and kind of like yourself, you know, I was picking up things like maybe someone would be coming about their relationship, pre-wedding jitters or whatever, you know, and those types of clients. And I'd be doing the reading and the relationship looks perfect. But I know that the wedding's not happening. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why. I'm going like, I've obviously lost it. Well, we both know I've lost it a long time ago. But I'm looking going like, this is very strange. Like, it seems like it's being pushed off. And it was a lot of different things similar to that. You know, I remember people coming about they were talking about holidays being put back and, you know, obviously not knowing exactly what that thing was. So that's so fascinating how you were picking that up and your page.
And kind of what then happened was, and this was before I'd started my YouTube channel, but during that first kind of month or so, I decided to, either I was going to fall into a pit of despair and anxiety, along with probably a lot of the rest of the world, or I could do something constructive. So because I'm a therapist, because I've done a lot of work with self-development, I thought, well, I think I'll do some live streams on Facebook, telling people how to cope with anxiety, with living alone, with being on your own, with isolation, with the general fear of a situation which at that point we really didn't understand what was going to happen. And so I start doing these lives daily, and through that, I met the lovely lady that does all my marketing now for me and branded me, Andrea Britton, who's part of Gozo in the House, which is...
Oh!
Right, Gozo in the House. You've heard of it.
Yeah.
And Gozo in the House is an amazing online digital directory which she has built from nothing to help people navigate Gozo.
Oh.
Right, so anyway, I kept saying to her, because she said, let me help you with all of this, and do you want to do something for Gozo in the House? So I said, yes, but I'm an astrologer and I really want to get this going. So to cut a long story short, that's what started happening, and I set up my YouTube channel as an astrologer, as Astrology with Penny Dix, Astro Coach. And so I literally started from scratch, round about with the channel, June 2020. And since then, it's just gone. so that as of today, we're about 2,100 subscribers.
Well done, congratulations, Patty.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. And, you know, I'm really into everything that's metaphysical. That's just me. I just throw myself into it. And I've had astrology readings before, and you know, to me, I like things, I like my facts, I like my figures for someone that talks to the dead for a living, you know. And whenever things are being given to me and they're a little bit too airy-fairy, I can't grasp it. But you have this unique approach, which I think comes from your psychotherapy training, that I've watched your videos and they're different from everybody else's.
Well, I try and make them personal.
Yeah.
I try and talk to you, the client, or the person, the person, the viewer that's out there watching, and I try and give the astrology information across in a way that is empowering, because at the end of the day, we you know, if it's all airy fairy and ungrounded, what does it mean? It's intangible. So it's how we work with it, because the planets don't actually do anything to us, okay? What the planets do is it's like a cosmic weather forecast. By the angles and the aspects they make, wherever they fall in your particular natal chart, it gives you a kind of a blueprint, if you like, of what you could achieve in your life. But you know, if we sat there and did nothing, then actually nothing will happen.
Yeah.
But there is another side to astrology where certain planets, especially the outer planets, the big outer planets, will create a kind of a situation in our lives that actually gives us no choice but to look within. Because really what the cosmos is trying to encourage us to do is to really learn about ourselves and trust the fact that we have this wonderful access to this energy that we can use in a constructive and positive way to build better lives for ourselves. So, you know, and that's what I did with my own path with the astrology from 2020. I knew that what was going on in my chart was super, super helpful for me if I wanted to go down the path that I was choosing. Now, I could have decided not to, and then none of this would have happened. And I would have just missed a wonderful opportunity that the cosmos was presenting to me. But what I've done is I've continued to work with it and shall continue to work with it. And I think one of the important things that I want to say, because I think this is what I was trying to get to, is that it's never too late. And everyone who's listening needs to hear that, because when I started my YouTube channel in 2020, I was 65. I'm now 67 and a half. I will be 68 next year. It's never too late. And this is just the beginning, thank you, of a really kind of, what it's done for me is just my knowledge and understanding of myself and the planet and people has just increased so much. And what's so exciting, Sean, we never stop learning. We never stop understanding more about ourselves and the world and the universe.
Absolutely, I 100% agree, and it's so fabulous that there's so many different modalities that people can explore and experience to help them with that little bit more of an understanding. And I'm just making some wee notes and some things that I want to touch on just as we're going along. Why would someone want to get their birth chart done? You know, what like, I have my clients and they'll go, oh, I want to hear from my spirit family, or, you know, they're maybe wanting a relationship style reading. What type of people, what type of people or what type of benefits would someone get from a birth chart?
Well, I think with most astrologers nowadays, they work probably more or less like me, whether they've got a background in psychotherapy or not. And basically, a birth chart reading it gives you a kind of psychological map of who you are, where you come from, where you've karmically come from, and what your kind of soul path or destiny is in this lifetime, and the qualities that you would be best served following. You know, sometimes we just don't live out certain parts of our chart. We can waste a lot of wonderful opportunities. And so people will come because they're stuck, they perhaps don't know what to do with their lives or what direction they're going in. They want to know perhaps about their career, their business, or they might not be working at all and they just don't know what to do and they need some guidance as to what they could do to kind of have a more fulfilling life. And obviously also they want to know about relationships and also health. And a lot of what I will do also, because I do these weekly episodes called Whiskey and Bagel Astrology, only because I drink whiskey at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the astrologer I work with, Brandon Russ, in the United States, is having bagels and coffee for breakfast. But we cover a lot of world stuff, world politics. We look at all the big figures like Trump, Putin, Zelensky, Biden, and, you know, we looked at all the sort of stuff with Johnson and Liz Truss in the UK. So that's the kind of stuff that we talk about, as well as trying to bring it to people on a more personal level. But so that's sort of what you can expect on a personal level through a reading with me. And I know a lot of people worry because they don't know their birth time.
Yeah.
And what I want to say is that, okay, it does help if you have some idea, whether it's morning, nighttime, afternoon, okay. However, there is a system in astrology called rectification, where as the astrologer, I will ask certain key questions that will help me work out where I think the angles, the quadrants are on a chart, so that I can work out what the ascendant is, which is the rising sign. That's the most important part. For instance, you know, I've set your chart up and you're a Virgo ascendant. So you can be a bit of a worry pot.
Yes, just a little bit.
And suffer a little bit from anxiety.
Just a lot.
Can I have a look at your chart?
Yeah, so that's very interesting then. So Virgo rising, so would that mean that I would have to like read the Virgo horoscopes that you would get in the papers? So that's why Libra never resonates with me in the papers then, or it's Virgo. Thank you. So I know that
yeah, if you listen to Virgo, Virgo gives you the house organization of the chart, so that if you want to know about your relationships, for example, we look at your 7th house, which is ruled by Pisces. So we look to see what's going on in Pisces, and at the moment you've got transiting Neptune and Jupiter in your 7th house. Now, Neptune has just made its way into your 7th house. And once I start, I can't stop. I'm sorry, you'll have to tell me to shut up. But Neptune means that there's the possibility of romantic dreams being fulfilled. However, you've got to be careful that you see things clearly, because you also have part of Aries in your 7th house, which makes you a bit, you act before you think.
Yeah.
So, and you've got Jupiter here. So now Jupiter is going to give you the opportunities, and it's going to be in this part of your chart till about next April.
Ooh.
So you've got a little bit of time to kind of look at that. But I would suspect also you've been going through quite an extraordinary time of change. I mean, I know on one level, of course, I know you have, but if I didn't know you had, and this is because your moon is in Taurus.
Okay.
So there's 3 important parts of a chart. Obviously is where the sun is, and your sun is in Libra. So this tells us that you are someone who is basically fairly balanced. However, with that Virgo ascendant that tips you into anxiety, detail, and worrying that you've got something right,
Oh my gosh.
then it kind of sort of gets in the way a bit of your Libra balance that can actually be in order. Okay, so with the Libra energy, you can be quite assertive and directional, but then you start worrying about it and you think, did I do the right thing? Did I say the right thing?
Yes.
So your moon is in Taurus in the 8th house. Now, this shows us, and is this public?
Let's just go for it.
Well, this shows us that good kind of basic, down to earth, good sex is something you would really enjoy. It has to be said. Because it's Taurus. Taurus is earthy. Taurus is, you know, can I swear?
Sure.
Okay, Taurus is a good fuck in a field.
I love it. Love it. If there's any guys on Gozo want to take me up on that, you know where to get me.
And what's super interesting is the North Node is conjunct your moon in Taurus at the moment. Now, the North Node is about your destiny in life. It's where you're going. So there is a strong chance for you at the moment that you could meet somebody significant who does become a very significant person in your life. And it would be surprising, it would be a shock, it's unexpected because Uranus is also here conjunct your moon. And the full moon total lunar eclipse that we had 2 weeks ago was conjunct your moon. You were already here, weren't you? You'd already arrived. Yes. Well, I think that there's going to be, you need to look at what unfolds over the next 6 months because there's something about deep transformation for you from this lunar eclipse and a much better awareness of yourself, a huge kind of understanding of yourself that perhaps you haven't been able to access before. Now, what's interesting when I was looking at your chart was that I was trying, because I know you're a medium, I was trying to find the bit that tells me you're a medium, and there isn't anything that is overtly obvious, which is quite interesting. However, you do have Gemini on the midheaven. Now, Gemini is about communication, and it's the twins, and it's an air sign, and it's thought. And I thought, well, of course, you are connecting with the numinous. You're connecting with energies and vibrations that we can't see. And natally, you've got Chiron, which is the wounded healer. It's an asteroid in Gemini, virtually conjunct your midheaven. This means that you are a healer. So you are someone who heals through communication.
Wow.
So, and at the moment, transiting Mars is retrograde in Gemini on your midheaven. There's going to be some things that come up for you between now and about January the 12th to do with overseas and to do with learning that are going to come back either for you to finish them off and complete them, but they're things that you might have been getting a bit frustrated with and indignant with. So that's also going on. And you've got this Mars opposition to Uranus, your natal Uranus, in your 4th house of home. It feels like fractious difficulties with home life.
Okay.
So I'll pause for a minute and have some water.
Oh, that's. You know, I could have you sitting going through my chart absolutely all day long. I really could, but I don't think that's fair on everybody watching. And you know, that is so fascinating.
Yeah, it's a kind of indication of what perhaps someone could expect
Yeah.
if they had a reading with me.
Yeah, that's that's so like I'm gonna have to book in myself.
We'll do an energetic swap. We can do an energetic swap. You can do me some of your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, just before we sort of like wrap up with it, and I thoroughly enjoyed your time, what do you think is in the stars for the month of December, since my little summit is the 3rd and 4th of December? Is there anything collectively people might want to look out for, or?
Okay, well, December is actually going to be just slightly easier, but still a little bit because there are a couple of planets that are going direct. So Neptune will go direct, which will ease things up. That might help you, for instance, see more clearly where you want to go with significant people in your life. But for everyone else, and that would go for other people. If anyone out there is a Virgo ascendant, then that applies to you too. Okay. So, it applies to Virgo ascendants. So the most significant thing about next month, which is not so great, but I'm going to finish on a good note. This is the not so great bit. We've got another Mercury retrograde on the 29th of December. So I think there's going to be probably transport difficulties around New Year and anyone travelling. And that could be due to even weather conditions. So there's that kind of element of it. But next year, and this is really what people need to know, next year the energy is going to significantly shift, with March being a very important month. And on my YouTube channel, I've got my ultimate overview for 2023, and all your individual signs are time linked in the description box of that, and that gives you a much better idea of, and my December videos will be up probably tomorrow or Saturday.
Okay, so they'll be up already by the time people are watching this then. Okay. So that's fabulous. So people can, I will obviously send everybody out. Well, they've got your contact if they're registered anyway, because I do have the speakers page all ready to go. And yeah, so head over to Penny Dick's YouTube, guys. Check out the December, check out the Ultimate 2023, because we're not doing half measures with Penny, it's the Ultimate 2023. Penny, thank you so much. It's been great having you as part of the summit, and if and when I'm holding more, obviously we will have you back again. So thank you so much. Thank you. And we're going to head back over to the Me in the Present that's hosting the Virtual Spiritual Summit. So we'll see you right there, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, past me. It's present me. So stupid. Oh, I can't resist a good bad joke or a bad good joke, whatever way you want to look at it. Wasn't that so fascinating? And I do apologise if you heard my giggle at the You Need a Good kind of field, because I strongly agree with. Oh dear. At least you're guaranteed to laugh with me. That's all I'm gonna say, Some people do cry in my company, but for very different reasons. I hope you are thoroughly enjoying the Virtual Spiritual Summit at this point. I know I am, for me being so shy, quiet and reserved. I'm not really the type of person that would put myself in the position to host a 2-day event. But here I am, looking awful well, if I do say so myself. And I'm absolutely loving seeing you guys take the pictures and post them on Facebook, and I know some of you are going to have to wait until afterwards. Post it on your own profile wall and tag me in it rather than posting it on my profile, because if you post me and you tag me in it, then it'll be easier for my team to find, because it's all going on your wall and they're losing stuff because they're stupid. But yes, that would be for a chance to win a signed copy of my book, Tarot for Modern Times, and it's a fab workbook. It really is. I ordered in sort of 10 copies there, and as a few people had asked. And they went like that. I over ordered thinking, oh, 10 will be enough, and they all went. So I had to order in 10 more, and there's still more people that are wanting. So yes, Penny Dix, how absolutely fabulous was that? It's Penny's unique insight into astrology, which really makes her stand so different from the rest of people with her psychotherapy background. You know, it's a more real type of experience, I find, and you know that was so straight to the point. It was me. You know what I mean? It was very much hammer nail on the head with that. And you know, guys, there are so many different things that we can be aware of to really help us live that more fulfilled, authentic life, just being just that real beautiful version of who we are inside, and letting that beauty just begin to express itself in every single possible way. And you know, you might be into mediumship, you might be into cards, maybe it's mindset stuff that Linda spoke of, or you know, it's astrology, whatever it is that you're going to use to help you move forward in life. The tools are there, you just have to use them, you know. And the thing is, whether it be you use the tarot for guidance, or you meditate every day, or you set yourself a big scary goal and you learn about universal laws, or you read your horoscopes and you act accordingly, do it. You know, those tools are there for us to use, and they would not be given to us by that supreme intelligence, by that higher force that's around us, if they weren't meant to be utilized. And it's just, the tools are there, we may as well just use them, guys, you know. And speaking of which, I don't even have my tarot here to sit and do the tarot readings. But you know what we will do, guys? We will take a short break for just a few minutes, probably 5 minutes. We'll take a little break. And then we will come back and I will do some tarot readings, mini tarot readings. How does that sound? I don't care because I can't hear you. So we're going to take a short break. about 30 seconds, guys, and we will get stuck in to the little mini tarot readings. I'll stop the share and get sorted for that. So I hope you have went and topped up your gin or your champagne in Linda's case, and I know that I'm heading out straight after this summit, and I have a bottle of bubbles chilling, and I think I'm just going to go out as I am. Why not? Because you know, the right people will love it. So let me just get this going. So I did send a little email out about getting your many questions. I will send more, and we will look at those with the tarot, just to, you know, give you a little bit of an experience. Is I wrote the book Tarot for Modern Times. I will say, guys, that my team did let me know that people did send in like multiple questions, and sorry, no, it's like a question. You know, there's over 300 people have registered for this event, guys, and if I was to do readings like what's my future going to be like, or the next 6 months, or about 20 different things, I just want you to experience the tarot, so it has been summarized down for certain questions, you know, because this just means I can get straight in, I can get answered, and hopefully I'm able to answer. I know it was just whatever was sent, but like I say, I did write the book Tarot for Modern Times, the only tarot workbook that you'll ever need, which is a combination of traditional tarot meanings with new modern meanings, because the tarot is not a tool that you just look at and you go, I'm telling you what I feel. The tarot is a tradition. The tarot has a structure, and see, whenever you read the tarot and you don't know the meanings, you're not technically reading the tarot, you're doing more of an intuitive reading. Whereas you want to understand the cards, understand their meaning, understand their history. I'm sure my mom is watching this, and I'm sure she must have thought, what the fuck is my son doing whenever I was 13 or 14? You know, most kids go out and they drink or they smoke, and I was going out and spending money on tarot cards and crystals. She must have thought I was into all sorts. Turns out I am. But, you know, I'm obsessed with the tarot, the history, and how to use these as a tool for personal development, for personal growth. It's just really, it's not a thing to read the future. See, anyone that goes, oh, fortune telling, no, it's to help guide and direct you with your own energies and your, anyway. It is what it is, and I want to get stuck into the question. So Tracy Strong is asking, will I pass my nursing degree? And first of all, I'm going to say no. Let's have a little look at what cards come out in that. Now, I can't give a definite yes or no answer, but what I can do, and my quick disclaimer is, guys, please don't listen to anything that I say. I'm not a career advisor, or a doctor, or a solicitor, or a nurse, or even a human. Let's just leave it at that. Will I be passing my nursing degree? So we'll have a look at what is going on in there, and we will see what direction that we're going in. Now, like I said, I can't give you a yes or a no answer, Tracy, but I'm going to give you the answer that says yes. So the first wee card that we have coming out, we have the Hermit card, and this is if you go about things in the right order, in the right, or the Hierophant, I said that. If you go about things in the right order, in the right direction, you will have amazing success. Now, we do have the Knight of Swords card, and this is, you need maybe a quick little turnaround in what it is that you are doing. Maybe you feel like you need to do a little bit more work, or maybe you're just a little bit too easily distracted. So you need that sharp change, you need that sharp, sudden change of what it is that you're doing to be able to get you to your outcome, which is our King of Cups cards. And this is a very positive card. You're going to make a fantastic nurse, and I do feel like also that not only are you going to be a fantastic nurse, but I do feel like this isn't the end of your study, this isn't the end of your training. I do feel like you're going to go further in whatever way that is. Unfortunately, I don't know your industry and I don't have you in front of me, so I can't get into your aura as much as I would like to, but I do feel progression with your training very much. So yes, if you go about things, you study and you stop all the distractions, because I feel like there's maybe people around you as well that would be a little bit of a distraction, Tracy. You might be too easily led, you know, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But now that we're aware that you're a little easily led astray, we'll stop it, you know, because that's just that one. Let's see what our next question is for Tina McCormick. Will everything settle down as it has been mental lately? And just by that question alone, I know that Tina McCormick is from Belfast. For those that are going, what is she on about? It means her life has been a little bit chaotic, guys. So let's see what is going on there. And oh, I can feel spirit around. Interesting. So, will things settle down for Tina? So we're going to have a look at broad spectrum of Tina's life, of her mental life. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a super duper card. You can see there it's the home, it's the happy home. Not only is it the happy home, but we are living the life that we want. So yes, things may be a little bit chaotic, but you know what, Tina? They have been worse and they are going to get much better. Now, we have our King of Pentacles, so we have our double Pentacles here. And our King of Pentacles, he's a little bit of a show-off. He enjoys life. You can see there, nice big home behind him. Not only that, a flashy car, good out sunglasses. And this is the type of character that really enjoys the finer things in life. So, Tina, what you need to do is you need to take a little break. Again, don't listen to me. You need to take a little break away from all the crazy, away from all the chaos, and reconnect to that king in your life, to that partner in your life, and have that little bit of time. We also have the Empress card, and I would have to say, Tina, maybe be careful if you and the hubby are taking a weekend away, because you know there's a little baby's pram there. But what I also want to say with that is, Tina, that the Empress card is saying that you will have that enjoyment, and I know that you're, oh, that makes more sense now. I know that you must be a little bit stressed about your mum. So I'm going to pick a little card there for your mum, and we have the Six of Pentacles, and that means good news is on the way for your mum. So I feel like the stress, the worry, the concern, it's about your own little family unit, and I want to include your mum in that very much so. If it's not, I'm going to say mum. It could be generation above, but there's good news coming in, is what I feel with those little cards. And I want to relate the Pentacles to health rather than wealth this time round. So we're waiting on some good news, and that's totally fine. I can also feel your grandmother in spirit that wants to say hello. She wants to pass on her love, and I know that she's wonderful. I can just see her having a wee dance and a wee movement here, because I know she was an older lady when she passes, and not only was she an older lady, but her body just started to decline, and I know that she enjoyed her dancing when she was younger, and that's again what she's trying to bring in for you and quite possibly your mum. Get yourselves out the wee disco. Maybe that's not what you're currently saying, but what she is sort of going is enjoy life. So she's backing up my reading, and I know that you're not here to argue with me on that, so you just have to do what I say, you know. These are the Faulkner Tarot that I use, by the way, guys. I don't think that they're in print anymore as much as I torture Rhiannon, but who knows what'll happen. My next question, I talk a lot, don't I? Sorry, and I'm not apologising for talking, but I'm saying sorry too. Julianne Kavanagh. I have a question. I've just changed my job and I'm wondering, is it the right decision for me? No, I'm only joking. So again, can't give yes or no answers. You don't really have to listen to what it is that I'm fully saying. But what I am going to do is not that. What the hell happened there? Previous. I want to end this. Let's see what is going on now. I said I can't give yes or no answers. But we have the card, the Sun card, and the Sun signifies yes. It means yes to your question. So that's all you're getting, Julianne. Yes. This shows that yes, you're moving in the right direction. The Sun card is the most positive card in the deck. It shows prosperity, it shows happiness, it shows an overall change in your mood, your mindset, and how you feel about yourself. Now we also have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles Pentacles is like, yeah, okay, we've made a few difficult decisions in the terms of your finances, your career, but you have to make the right decision in order to feel good, because your health is your wealth at the end of the day, and I feel that you're starting to take that on board a little bit more, Julianne. Your health is more important than running yourself into the ground for a job. I hope this is job we're talking about, because my mind is just, oh, it is, thank God. And my mind just took one of those wee moments there. It was like, what's going on? We also have the King of Wands, and he is the worker. So that would suggest that, yeah, you know, you might feel like a little bit of a fish out of water just till you find your feet, Julianne. But once you find your feet, you are going to be absolutely sorted. And with being absolutely sorted comes that peace of mind, that contentment. So yeah, it does seem like it is a good move for you. So I wish you all the best with that, I really do, and wish you every success in the world. Itchy. Next question from Sandy Dahlia, I think. My question is, I'm considering applying for a new role in my company. Would this role be a positive change, not just for my career, but for my overall well-being? Okay, awesome. Just like before, you know, there's only so much that I can say, especially on these types of little mini reads. We're not here to get all your personal business out in front of everybody. So we have the Eight of Wands, and look, that's a good business decision. You can see there, it's like, yeah, we're taking the check, but I'm really drawn to the hand. It's sort of, it doesn't really look like it's embracing to me. It looks like we're keeping it arm's length there. So I would need to say that if it comes to a change of career for you, with this change of career, what you may need to do is keep certain people around you at arm's length, and don't give away everything that it is that you're doing. We also have the King of Pentacles, so it shows like, yeah, just slowly, and we are going to have the financial benefits that come along with that, very much so. So yeah, it seems like it would be good for you financially, but slowly, and don't give all your business away to people. Then we have the Empress card coming out again, but this means something vastly different to me. Now what this means is that we need to care and look after ourselves. We need to nurture who we are, and in that nurturing of who we are, then you will begin to see that massive change in your general well-being, that it's not just work, kind of like what I was saying to Julianne. You know, we want to have that bit of time for ourselves. Don't think I said that to Julianne, but the security, the mindset, and the peace of mind coming for you. Sandy, there we go. I really get into it and all, don't I? Like, head and all starts to go. Kathleen O'Reilly is asking, will my mum be okay? I'm not a doctor, I can't speak about health, please just know that, but I can happily have a little look at what is going on. Sorry, I should say I can't look at health in a public forum, guys. You know, because I'm not medically trained. But we can have a little look at what is going on in and around there. Okay, so Kathleen O'Reilly, what we have coming here is we have the Ten of Pentacles. So I know, again, I'm just going to show you all the cards so I can give you what I'm getting. So we have Pentacles, we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Three of Pentacles, okay? So I know that when we were talking about mum, it's obviously your home life, it's your family life, I know that. And I know that you are absolutely stressed at the health. I can just see that so clearly with our Seven of Wands. So you need to be very careful. I know your question was about your mum, and is your mum going to be okay? But Kathleen, you need to look after yourself, okay? So that you're going to be able to be there to look after your mum and do what needs to be done for your mum. This does show that there is going to be maybe appointments or checkups for your mum, and unfortunately that's kind of all I can say on a public forum such as a thing like this. But I do feel like just make sure you're okay, so you're there to be there for your mum, okay? So the main concern is you, Kathleen. You'll be good. If you be good, you'll be there for mum, because I do feel she's going to need a little bit of assistance in whatever it is that's going on, and a few wee checkups and a little bit of running about for her. But it doesn't seem like it's bad, okay? But again, it's just the topic on a public forum, and my assistant's being fired for putting that question in. I'm just kidding. How are we doing? Yous all still having lots of fun? I hope yous are. Do you know what? I hope yous aren't. No. Oh dear. At least I laughed. So, Doreen Law, am I going to make it financially? No. No, I'm just kidding. Let's have a little look-see at what is going on there. Doreen, finances. Okay, we have the Six of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Tower card, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so what this is saying to me, Doreen, is you need to stop spreading yourself too thin. That's just it. The Six of Swords is, we know what it is that we want to be doing, so do it. You know, stop messing about, stop running about, focus on something, that one thing, and become the best possible at that you can. You know, because the Tower card says that you're just really running yourself ragged, you're running yourself into the ground, and if you continue to do that, no, you're not going to make it financially, because it's like you're doing a bit of this, and a bit of this, and a bit of this, and a bit of that, and all of those things that you're doing aren't really blending well together, and you're just feeling left like, oh, what's this? What am I doing? What, who, what, why, where, when? You know, so I know very, very much so that you do need to look after yourself, okay? And focus on that one thing that is going to make you the money, that's going to get you to where you need to be financially. So will you make it? Yeah. If you focus and you study and you learn and you be the best possible you absolutely will be. If you keep running yourself too thin, no, you won't. I didn't say that, by the way. I'm not a financial advisor. So yes, that's the tarot, guys. Isn't the tarot so cool? I absolutely love the tarot so much. And you know, being a psychic medium, my work involves working with the tarot for my clients. It also involves me doing mediumship. They're two very different services, but I thought since I have some remarkable mediums here this weekend, I thought I would just go out doing a bit of tarot here and there. And on the topic of mediumship and being a remarkable, reputable medium, I would like to introduce you to my next speaker, my next guest, Coral McGee. And I know it's just going to take a little moment for her to connect into the meeting, but I know you guys are all enjoying. I know that you love the tarot. I know that you love mediumship. Here is my fantastic guest, Coral McGee. Hello.
You know, I had just realised that I don't have this app on my phone, and I had to quickly download it there. Sorry, it's a blonde moment.
You are just in time, Coral. I literally just finished doing my last mini tarot reading just as your name popped up. I was like, is that divine timing or what?
Very good. So how is it going? Good? Is it going well?
We are broadcasting live into the broadcast room, so don't talk bad about anybody. So guys, this is my good friend, Coral McGee. Coral McGee is an international medium. She's currently touring Ireland, or are you in a different country?
I came home yesterday, or I came home the day before actually. So I was in Ireland. I had 5 live shows in Ireland. So while you're gallivanting elsewhere, I was in Belfast and Derry and a few other places. So I get around. I've got a show tonight, so I'm cutting it quick.
I know we literally just got you and no more for this summit. We really did, and I'm so happy and thankful that you've been able to join. We've had some great speakers today, and there's more tomorrow. You know, so Let me try that again. The joys of working live, huh? Sometimes you get a little bit tongue-tied. So, Carol, you are a psychic medium. What does your work involve?
Well, for me, I connect in with spirit. I'm more connected in with spirit that rather than a psychic. I'm more of a medium. But sometimes when you go to places like Ireland, if you say I'm a medium, a lot of people don't know. But if you say I'm a psychic, they're like, "Oh, right, okay, you're a fortune teller." And I'm like, "Well, no, I'm not actually a fortune teller. I'm a medium." So my main thing is connecting in with spirit. So it's my job to bring through those that have passed over, whether it be your mum or your friend or your child or whomever it may be. It's my job to provide proof that it is in fact that soul coming forward. So although sometimes I can be a fortune teller or a psychic, that just means I'm telling you what's going on within your life, what's coming up for you. That's this kind of psychic side. But predominantly I love being a medium.
Yeah, and that shows in your work. Like, your evidence is fabulous, your connections are amazing. And, speaking of those people in Ireland, and it's not just there, I find in a lot of places people don't fully understand the role of a medium, if they're the way to put it. A lot of people think, I'm gonna go to a medium and my granda's gonna tell me when I'm gonna meet somebody and I'm gonna pass me exams, and I'm kind of going, no, I mean, how do I say that without being cheeky to my client? But you say it's to prove that that person is there. How do
It's
you prove that?
it proves that soul is there. Evidence is things like giving the person's name coming forward, when they died, how they died, what their personality was like while they were here, things they done while they were here. But the biggest evidence is things that they've seen since they've passed over. So, it could be your grand's here, and when she passed over, she's aware of the fact that her brother passes after her. She's also aware of the fact that you've just had a child, so she saw your son. And that's all things that she's seen since she's passed over. So therefore, that provides proof that it is your gran coming forward and she's seen these things, so she is coming back. And to me, there is no death. That you can't die for life nor money. The old body might die, or the human body may die, but the soul lives on for a long, long, eternal time. And so that's my belief. And you're quite right about Ireland, though. Sometimes you go to Ireland. Irish people, I love Ireland. That's like my second home. I've been going there for maybe 7 or 8 years, and I totally gel with the Irish. They're just the same as the Scottish, and it's like they've got the same sense of humour, the same crack. And the Scottish are very like Irish in the way that if you're doing a live show and they're not getting that live show, they'll tell you. Like, they're brutally honest. And I find that in Belfast, that they're brutally honest, probably more than anywhere else in Ireland. People from Belfast just don't take any BS, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, is that right? Well, what's their name? Where did they live? What was their national insurance number? Hold on, and I'll just get you, honey, And so they're honest. And if they like you, they love you. And if they don't like you, they're telling you, And I always find, everybody says it, even singers and comedians and that say, if you can work in Ireland, you can work anywhere in the world. Once you've Glasgow, the world's your oyster. And I always believed that until I went to Belfast. And now it's a case of, if you can work in Glasgow and you can work in Belfast, you can where, but I've been privileged to have worked all around the world, in a lot of countries, and I've got Cyprus coming up, and I've also got Australia coming up again as well. And so I love the variety of what I do, and you're kind of making people believe, or your evidence makes them believe. And I love to just be present at that wee light bulb moment. You know, that see that shock face that says, oh my God, that is my mum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that wee light bulb moment where you can just see it switching on. And I also, you know, somebody, excuse the language, but when I was, because we're talking about Belfast, when I was in Belfast the other night, I got a backhanded compliment from a lovely woman that I had never met before in my life. And she says, Hen, I thought I was just coming to see another shite medium, but you're not shite. And I said, oh, thanks very much. And you know, and you think, that's an absolute compliment coming from that woman. And she's like, I'll be back. And I thought, that's really nice. But at the same time, I thought, that's the quote of the night. And you're not right. And I thought, I'll remember her because of that. Do you know what I mean? But that's a compliment. And, you know, everybody reacts differently. But she got her light bulb moment. And so therefore, privileged for me to witness that. And so a lot of times I read for people who are multicultural, who are from different countries, some of which don't speak English, and you have to have some sort of translator there, or sometimes a child there to translate for you. And when you just see that wee light bulb moment, you know, people experience grief in many countries, and it doesn't matter if you're Scottish or Irish. Grief is grief wherever you are in the world, and whomever you've lost, whether it be a child or a partner or a sibling or anything like that, we all suffer the same grief. And so that is has a language of its own, and so you can see that in people. And I'm just privileged to be part of that, you know, bringing that comfort to people, bringing in proof that their loved one is okay, that their soul's at peace. And, you know, a lot of my best connections have been in Ireland for some reason. And I remember bringing through a young boy to his mum, and he was only 19. I remember that. I can't remember his name or anything like that. My memory's rubbish. But I remember he was only 19 in Britain speaking to his mammy. And his mum turns in and says to me at the end when she came up, she says, can I speak to you? I says, of course you can. That was a lovely message. She says, I'm going home for a sleep. I'm going home for a sleep, because, you know, he died like 6 months ago and I've no slept since. But what you told me puts my mind at rest and puts my soul at rest, and I know he's fine. I know he's okay, and I'm going home for a sleep. How nice is that?
Wow. I know, it is the little things like that. You know, this is probably the most high pressure job I've ever had, and I've worked in the beauty industry, you know, doing bridal makeup. Let me tell you, this is so high pressured, but see, being able to facilitate that space for someone, that just like that prime example, I'm going home for a sleep.
Well, that's it. That is another one of the best quotes that I've heard. You know, it's the things you don't expect, and that's exactly what that woman should get. She should have comfort. She should have peace, knowing that her son's okay and that she'll get to see him one day. And she absolutely believed that that was him coming through, as do I, because I think he had a hand in his own passing. But, you know, she wanted to know that he was in heaven. Mm-hmm. He wasn't stuck somewhere, and that peace, and that's exactly what she got, along with the proof of when he died, and, you know, things like that. So you're bringing through the proof. You know, he may have died on the 7th of August at 7:30. Oh my God, that's when he died. So you're bringing through the proof, or the name, or who he's with, so that she knows without a doubt that that's her son coming through. And so, you know, that's another light bulb moment. But for her to say that, for me, that makes my job worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that makes maybe some of the pressure go away. And the other thing is, I don't ever feel under pressure how I work. I just got up there, do that and try my best, and that's it. But people do expect so much. They do expect the national insurance number, the name, the date, how they died, who they're with, what was the last conversation you had. I lost a ring in 1972, where is it? And you're like, okay then. Excuse me, do you know where that ring is you lost in 1972? I mean, stuff like that come out. I know we're laughing, Sean, but you get that. You've probably...
That's why I'm laughing.
And it's like, oh my God, one woman phoned me desperate and she's like, oh my God, I'm going on holiday on Wednesday and I've lost my passport. Where is it? And I'm like, well, maybe you should have looked for it before now. Do you know what I mean? And you laugh, but I will try. I've got to say I will try. And a lot of times I've found things for people. I'll say right off the top of my head, somebody lost 12 grand in a bag and offered me a percentage if I could tell him where it was that he had hidden it in a drunken stupor. And that's true. So I won't say any more details about that. It's in another country, so I can tell you. But story, and I seen somebody stealing it. Well, I then told he had guests in his house that night, and one female half-inched it, and he's like, okay. That was it, but so I don't know if he ever got it back, or I don't know what happened, but I never get half the money, I'll tell you that much.
It's very, very interesting what these abilities allow us to do. And, I know obviously both myself and yourself, we believe they're there. We believe that the spirits, they're always with us. They're looking after us. They still have their own lives to live. They're not always looking, but they're there. And I know a lot of my clients seem to find that hard to wrap their head around, that they think that they, need to keep running to a medium. It's like, no. Like, yes, but no, you can have your own experience as well, and you can sit and you can talk to them, and they mightn't speak the way you and I communicate with spirit because we do what we do, and I just think it's so amazing seeing people, that light bulb moment with people. Oh wait, I can speak to them.
People are quite sensitive to the fact that people are around them in spirit, and as you say, they don't always communicate in the same way that I do. Do you know what I mean? But there's also people that will say, oh no, I never sense them at all. They're not aware of them, and they find it difficult. And also there's people that want to do this and they find it difficult to tune in. So they'll ask me, because I teach this as well. You can teach it up to a certain level, but I think a good medium is born to be a good medium. I never used to think that, but my I'm open to change. So when I first get into this movement, I believed that you could just train a medium. That's it. You can train a medium. Let's have 200 of you starting next month. You know what I mean? And it's no the case, as you know. So it takes you years and years to build up, and years to build up that experience. So if there's something that's really you're wanting to do deep down in your soul, you're in it for the foreseeable future, for the rest of your life, to the day you die. You don't retire at 65. It's a lifelong commitment, and you're basically working in service for the spirit world. And the way they got me to work for them is just phenomenal anyway. But I'll be working till the day I die. So I no longer think along the lines of I can train 200 people to be a medium. I can show them how it works. I can give them the necessary tools, but they have to be able to do it themselves. And so I can teach you how to play the piano, but you may never be Liberace. So in other words, you're a pianist, but you'll batter out a good tune. And everybody has different expectations. For me, spirit used to waken me up, and this is quite a common thing that maybe a lot of you have experienced. For me, I used to wake up at 7 minutes past 3 a.m. every morning for months. This went on with knocking on my window, knocking on the wall, knocking on the bed. And eventually I'm like, where's this knocking coming from? And it was like my phone was going one morning. I looked at the phone and it was 3:07. And I thought, oh no way, there must be something up. And I ran downstairs because I stayed in a townhouse at the time. I ran downstairs to answer the phone and I lifted the phone. I'm like, hello, thinking maybe something's wrong with one of the family, because who would phone you at that time in the morning? And so there was no answer. It was dead, and I done 1471 and it says you were called yesterday at 16:50, so it hadn't even called, and that was Spirit. And anyway, this went on for months, so eventually I went a bit nuts and I said, right, that enough's enough, you know, this has been going on for 3 months, what do you want? And within me I felt, we want you to work for us. And I says, I can't, I'm too busy. And they're like, no, you're coming to work for us. I says, absolutely not, too busy. I was a workaholic, different things were happening, and within 3 months I wasn't busy. So they'll get you one way or another. So the things that I was doing that kept me busy, I was no longer doing, and gradually my busy work life just disappeared. And then so I started getting into this and being a medium, and I learned how to connect in with spirit. And I taught myself different ways of connecting in with spirit, and that's how I learned.
You know, and I think that the training is so, so, so important. Like, I agree with what you say. Like, mediums are born, but I also believe that we are spirit having a human experience, so we can all communicate with spirit to various degrees. But to be, shall I say, like a career medium or a working medium, to do it to the certain degree that the likes of you do and that I do, and those ones that do tour and have booked out, you know, that's very different from someone that's just learning and trying to figure it out. But the importance of, I find that the training and the learning to do it right, so you understand the mechanics and you're not being disrespectful to those spirit. That is a big like soapbox. That's a hill that I will die on. Let me tell you, it's like, you do not be disrespectful to those people, those spirit people. You know, you do not use their name in vain. You must understand that, like you said, you are in service to those spirit. It's not about you, and yeah, the fame and the fortune and the whatever may come from that for a lot of people, but you're in service and you need to be respectful and you need to learn what you're doing. Out of those 200 people that you train, shall we say, not every single one of those is going to go and be a career medium, but maybe a good 85% of them will give you a belter of a reading, you know.
People do this for various reasons. Sometimes people do it because they want to serve the churches, or they want to read for friends, or, you know, they want to just do whatever they want to do. A lot of people want to do healing as well, but they want to learn mediumship, you know. So there's all different aspects that fall under that giant umbrella of spirituality. And so everybody's different, and you know, some of the most spiritual people are the people behind the scenes that don't ever get up in that stage. And you know, I've watched some demonstrations from fledglings. Fledglings are those that are training maybe under the army, another medium, and I've watched some demonstrations from fledglings that would just blow you out the water. You know what I mean? And these folk are training. At the same time, I've seen maybe good mediums not be as good, you know, so it depends on that soul. And some of the best mediumship I've ever seen, the people don't go on the stage.
Yeah, you know, I very much agree. They're one of my friends. She's more of a teaching medium, but her evidence is superb. And the first time I seen her about 10 years ago in church, I was like, we're gonna be friends. And she's like, please leave me alone. I'm like, no, we're gonna be friends. And like, I try to drag her to come and demo me. No, her evidence is second to none, but she loves to teach and train other mediums.
Well, do you know, sometimes mediums love to teach. I like to teach as well. You know, I hold classes a lot. I like to teach, but my forte, without a doubt, is on the stage. I'm comfortable on the stage. I was born in the stage. I love the laughter. the upliftment, people's faces. You know, sometimes people will say to me, do you never have the fear of getting up on the stage? Because you know, a lot of here. Sorry, I'm just constantly bombarded with messages. I should have switched it off. People say to me, do you never get the fear? Are you reluctant to go on stage? Absolutely not. On my behalf, I just got up there, away I go, up on the stage, and I chat. And you know, it's like, I know not everybody's like me, because there's some well-known mediums who are absolutely bricking it before they get on a stage 10 minutes, and they're like, Carol, you're not nervous? And I'm like, no. And they're like, no scared in case you get up there and spirit don't turn up? And I'm like, absolutely not. If you're tuned into spirit, they're turning up. You know, so I've heard of a couple of mediums getting up on the stage, spirit's no there, and their reaction is, I'm sorry, they're no here the night, I can't tune in, I can't whatever, it's never happened, you know, this is going on. I don't get that.
Same.
You know, you've made a date with spirit, you've made a commitment, they know you're coming, you know, they know you're coming on Saturday night at 7:30, in my case tonight.
Yeah.
They know coming. You know, there's people waiting to speak to their loved ones, and their loved ones are wanting to hear from them. So we've made a date, and that date's been in that diary weeks ago. If they don't turn up, I would be livid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They'll probably be there before you get there.
Probably scared not to turn up, to tell you the truth. That my Scottish woman's be on this stage at 7:30. We better be here. You know, there's some nights where you have maybe a better demonstration than others, all right? And I blame them for that as well, because it's all down to communication, you know, and how you interpret what you're getting. And so for me, I've been quite lucky so far, and that the interpretation goes well, you know, but sometimes I'm my own biggest critic. So when on my way home after doing a show, I'm thinking, right, what was tonight's links? Who came forward? Could I improve that? Could I have given more? You know, so I'm analysing myself.
Yeah.
Criticising myself or critiquing myself on the way home. What can I do better? Can I have a better blend?
Yeah.
And you know, I've always been like that. I'm constantly striving to make my mediumship so much better.
Yes.
But when I work, I like to bring in the comedy, all right? And people will say, oh my God, you're so funny. I was expecting doom and gloom. You know, I've got my granny here, she's dead. And I'm like, okay, but your granny lived, and your granny was a funny woman, and your granny's got lots of funny stories to remind you of. So I always say to spirit, I want a funny story. I don't want grannies all night, although we love grannies.
Yeah.
So when I bring through 3 or 4 spirit people for everybody, and we all have somebody in spirit that's passed, and so I want to know how they've died, what their names are, what they're up to, and that's the evidence, right? And now I want a story that's unique to that person. Right? Something that they know is true, and then that kind of brings in the laughter, you know, and I like, in my mind, I've found a good balance, you know, but it's also taken me years to get to where, I mean, I've been doing churches and stuff like that for maybe 12 years, something like that, on a stage professionally, maybe 10. But, you know, the medium that I am today is like night and day compared to the medium I was 10 years ago. So you home your skills, you home in your connection with spirit, and so you also home in your evidence, and you understand better what evidence is, what good evidence is, what your clients' needs and wants are. And so they kind of want a bit of everything and a bit more than you can always give them, but then you just do your best anyway. So I'm happy with the connection that I have with spirit now, and I'm grateful for that connection, and I feel I'm blessed, you know, because that person that I'm giving that reading to, and the people that were at my show last night, they get a healing.
Yes.
they get a healing because they're maybe suffering from illness, or they may be suffering from grief, or they have lots of emotional turmoil going on. So they get an absolute healing from spirit. So do I.
Yeah.
Because you can't not, because you're working in that energy, and you think, oh, that's dead nice.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, I'll tell you one about last night. A man came through and he says he was Sammy and he was 26 and he had a tube in his throat. And I says, Sammy's 26, he's got a tube in his throat. He is non-verbal, right? Non-verbal. So it was as if he was in locked-in syndrome. He couldn't move. He was mobile. He was just in a bed or a chair and he died at 26. He was non-verbal. And so it's like, well, what can I say? Because he's no talking, he's non-verbal, so it's like, and then Sammy starts communicating with me and saying, I was non-verbal while I was on earth, but my soul is perfect. And in actual fact, I was a genius. I knew exactly what they were saying, what was going on. And he says he was the most intelligent one within the family. So the girl that I was communicating with, it was her uncle and she was only 20, and she says to me, absolutely. I says, you knew he knew what you were saying, and you knew he understood, and he could just give you one look. And he says, although my name was Sammy, you called me Big Handsome.
Wow.
And I called him Big Handsome. And so that's her evidence, and she was crying and she was like, oh my God, you're so right. Oh my God, I just forgot that, And so on the way home, I thanked Spirit for bringing through that soul, because I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
That touched that young girl at 20. So now she knows that her uncle is alive and that his soul's perfect and that he can speak to her. And I just think that was wonderful for him to come through and say, okay, I was in a bed, I couldn't speak, but I was very much aware of what was going on round about me. And now I'm spirit side and my soul's amazing. It's perfect. And he was funny with it, which, so I kind of was bringing through his personality. And anybody from the outside of that family may have thought, what personality? He couldn't communicate. He was peg fed. He could only move his eyes. And it's like, but that soul had a massive personality and left a giant hole in that family, that they want to hear. And so she was to pass on a message to his mum, who was still alive. I loved that. I absolutely loved that last night, the fact that he was non-verbal.
Yeah, beautiful, and it just goes to show the absolute power of spirit, as long as once we take our crazy minds out of it and we just allow them to do their thing, it's absolutely remarkable. And I know that you demonstrate an awful lot, and you've literally to be out the door in a few minutes to get heading to your next one. But how do you feel like an audience member or someone coming, whatever you want to call them, to a demonstration, how could they prepare for going to see a demonstration of mediumship to get the best from it?
Okay, so what I would do if I was going to see a demonstration of mediumship, I would think about who I would like to hear from, so your thoughts are encouraging that person to come forward. It could be you've lost a brother, and brother, if you're there, come forward tonight. I hope that I hear from you. I may not, because, not everybody. But put your thoughts out there, be open to it, be open to a lot of people, as that wee woman in Belfast says, I just thought you were another shite medium. And I'm saying, you thought I was a shit medium, why are you buying tickets? Well, just to see if we can see a good one. It was like that. And I'm like, okay. So, be open to it, be open to your spirit family coming forward, whether it be your gran, your neighbour, my sister, and send out love to that person. For me, when you connect in with spirit, you're on a vibration of love, you're on a vibrational energy, and you're asking for that person to come through. And you know, for me, when I connect in with spirit, it's all about the love as well, and it's all about the love of the soul and how we missed them. But sometimes souls come through that of people that we didn't love, you know, and they're funny as well. Like the other night, I brought through somebody, and I said, you know, your sister-in-law is coming forward. She went, I says her name's Helen, whatever it was, and she went, I went, she couldn't stand you, and she went, hear the audience saying, oh my God, did she actually just say that? And I says, well, there's no point in me to lie. You know, she couldn't stand you and you didn't like her. She went, absolutely, absolutely. And I says, you know, when we go to spirit, we no longer retain that hate, or the only thing we take with us is the love. I said, so she's in telling me what her name is, the fact that she died with cancer and she died young and you couldn't stand her. I says, but her message to you is, you know, there's somebody in about you suffering from breast cancer and you have a slip disc and she's sending you healing. And that woman then confirmed that she had a slip disc and that maybe her sister or somebody had breast cancer and she was grateful for that healing. I said, you know, the fact that she didn't like you while you were here, it's no longer the case when we pass over to spirit. We don't retain all that. And sometimes people will say to me, you know, why is my dad not come through? Is it because we fell out before he passed? Absolutely not. You know, it's just that he's not come through yet. Spirit don't retain that hatred. Are they those kind of earthly traits that we have? You know, fallouts and family difficulties, and I've no spoke to my cousin since 1970 because she owes me a fiver. You know, we don't retain that when we move over to spirit. The only thing, you know, I've died twice so I can speak through experience. The only thing you feel is the absolute love of spirit family. And you know, when I saw my spirit family when I passed over, I didn't want to come back. Even though I might not have liked a couple of them, or maybe one they see before they passed at the time. I don't know if that's true or no, I might be making that up, but I still wanted to go with them, that's what I'm saying. And so kind of different energy. And so I would say to MD, you know, even though she didn't like you and you didn't see eye to eye, that soul still sending you a lot of healing, because she now sends you lots of love. And you can see people at that time, when I'm saying that, they say, oh, that's nice. You know, so they let go of she's not that bad after all. You know.
And that is the evidence, you know, and going, she didn't like you, you didn't like her. Like I was doing a reading earlier, and
what I can say is it's not all love and light. You know, it's the same here. We don't always gel with people. Hate's a strong word. I would say that I don't hate anybody, but we don't always agree with people, or we don't always see eye to eye. So that's the same, you know, so they bring through that as the evidence, you know, and sometimes people's mums would come through as well. You know, you never spoke to your mum for 20 years before she passed over to spirit, and there's a lot of water under the bridge, and you didn't speak to your mum for 20 years. Is that correct? Yeah, we never saw eye to eye. Your mum admits to the fact that she was hard work, you know, and here's what she tells me, you know, this, she said this, and that was wrong, but sometimes you were just as bad. And then passed over, she sees how good a mum you are. She sees what you've achieved in your life, and she's so grateful for everything you do, and that she's now sending lots of love.
It's literally like the reading I done earlier. Very, very similar. You know, the mum and the daughter, my client, were always going at it, and that was the evidence. And like my client, she just wanted to hear from her brothers. And I was like, and I felt mum come in, and I was like, this is gonna go a certain type of way, but we have to give it anyway. And her face when I was like, and your mum's here, and I was like, just let me, it mightn't be your mum, but let's just go. And I give her, and I was like, and your mum's acknowledging that she was hard work. Yeah, she was. Your mum's also acknowledging you're just as stubborn as her. And then my client laughed, and she's like, yeah, I am.
Well, you know what? There's nothing. The truth is a good healer. That's it. Healer. Because then your client knows that you're no talking mince. You know, because she's telling me I didn't like her. You know, and that would be the truth. So you can't bend the truth, and I don't massage the truth. So sometimes when I say things like that at a show, you know, you're and by the way, she couldn't stand you. And the audience are like, oh my God. But the women, absolutely, that's correct. And so if I was to say, your auntie's here and she loves you, and she'd be like, it's no man, you know, we hate her. And so therefore I want to always bring through the truth, regardless of whatever that is, you know. So for me, that's a healing as well, because you're healing the emotions that person's felt towards this soul, and that saying, you know what, I'm really sorry for my part in that, and so I send you lots of healing, and that's a two-way street, and that's kind of what our job's all about. It's for healing of souls, you know. Think they come for a reading, and it is a reading, but also it's healing. You know, it's healing for your emotions. A lot of people are suffering from anxiety right now. It's healing sometimes physical ailments, you know. So whatever the healing's been sent for, whether it be your mind or your body, healing is healing. And you know, it's like, I just think it's refreshing. It's like new energy into somebody's life, and them seeing things for maybe what they really are, you know. So I think that's our job, is to bring healing to souls, whether it be this side or side. And sometimes spirits and on the spirit side need healing as well. You know, you've got a dad that's coming in, and he's no always been a nice dad, and everybody hated him, and he comes in full of remorse. That can be healing going to the soul as well. And sometimes it's difficult for the sitter to know that that's the case, and they may say, no, I don't want to hear for him. And that's that, but I'll just say, okay, well, I'll just leave the words with you, and I'll move on to the next person, because you know, sometimes people find it difficult to think that there is a place in the spirit world for every human soul. And so some of the questions I get asked, and this was in Ireland as well, one of the questions is, does everybody go to heaven? And I says, and they says, well, even the bad people? I says, and they're like, what, the murderers and the paedophiles and all that? I went, I says, you know, they may not go to the same place as you know, like maybe in the spirit world there is many places or many mansions or many levels. You may be in a different level and you may never see that soul, but to me there's a place in the spirit world for every human soul. And I had a woman walk out my show one night, and she says, oh, I can't believe that. I can't believe that God would allow a paedophile in. And I says, okay. And then I kind of explained it to her, and here's how Spirit gave me it. So I met her in the bar after the show, and she's like, did you see me walking out? I says, I never actually know. She says, I could agree with the fact that every soul goes to Spirit. And I went, okay, that's fine. She's like, what about the paedophiles? And I says, I says, do you have any children? She says, I've got 3. I says, is it 2 boys and a girl? And she says, I says, and you love your children unconditionally, no matter what they do? And she said, And I says, so say in 20 years' time, I says, I'm making this up, it's not going to happen, just so that she didn't get a fright. I says, but say 20 years' time, your son maybe gets done with something like child porn, right? And I says, and maybe you don't like that act, or you don't like some of the things that he may do in the future. And she went, oh, no, I would hate that, I would disown him. I went, okay, so let's look at this again. I says, so your son behaves like that, and you don't agree with it, correct? And she went, I says, but you'll still always love him, won't you? Because he's your son. And she kind of went dead quiet, and she went, Well, aye.
Mhm.
And I say, so would you fling him out to roam the streets, or would you give him, if it was in your power, would you move him elsewhere and just let him go there, even though you don't agree with what he does? And she went, all right, I get you.
Yeah. I know it's such a. I've got that question an awful lot, about things like that, and not everyone's happy with the answer, and it's such a big topic, and I'm sure we could sit and go into as much detail as we possibly know at this stage. But I am very aware of the time, and I'm very aware that you have to get on the road, So thank you so much for your input this evening, Carl. It has been great hearing someone else's perspective, which is surprisingly the same as mine. How can
I look forward to seeing everybody else's. I've not got the time today, but when you put it up, I'll look forward to watching it back.
Yes, absolutely. I'll send you all the details via an email. But just before you head on, how can people contact you? I know I've got your details on the speakers page, but it's carolmcgee.com.
CarolMcGeePsychic.com.
There we go.
You can get me there. Facebook, Instagram, you name it, YouTube, I'm probably on it somewhere. And through social media is the best place, or via the website.
Awesome, Carl. Thank you so much, and best of luck for your demonstration in Cyprus and Australia and New Zealand and all these other places. And guys, if you're
Maybe I'll get to see you in Ireland soon.
Yes, I'm back over in February briefly, but I don't want to say in front of everybody so they all know. But hopefully I will see you soon, and thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
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 So, oh my goodness, how great is this? Are you enjoying? We are, that's 6:30 for me, it's 5:30 for yous. What a full-on summit this is. Absolutely fantastic, and such a remarkable medium is Carol McGee, and her work clearly speaks for itself. She's a very well-known medium all throughout Europe. In fact, most of her work is touring all these different countries, demonstrating and providing one-to-one sittings for people, and she's just a remarkable medium. And again, like I say, her work speaks for itself, and it's so great to hear other mediums talk about the importance of being open to spirit coming through and sending the love, and being open to who may come through at a reading, because so often I would do private sittings. Obviously it's my job, so often when I do sittings, and I do let my clients, if you want to, we'll try and bring someone through in particular, and we'll throw the thought. We've no control over it, and I know what it's like. I would go for readings, and there's that one, maybe two people that I really want to hear from, and you get that uncle that you don't really know and all that coming through. So I learned to really open my mind as best as I can to really meet the needs of my client, which that is what it is at the end of the day. Sometimes it's superb and sometimes it's not. But we got to be open to that. Maybe we are going to hear from maybe the mum that we weren't really best mates with, and she was a bit of a meh. Maybe that dad is going to come through that was maybe abusive and not accepting of who you are, or maybe that sibling or whatever it is going to come through and want to apologize for maybe your relationship or lack thereof. Because like Carl says, and like I say in my training with my students that I teach, mediumship is about healing, and it's about healing both sides of the veil, the healing here and the healing for the spirit. And a lot of times spirit will come through, with that apology or with that throwing their hands up and going, oh, it's a bit of an asshole. And just because the spirit is coming through and giving you that as a message, you don't necessarily have to accept that right then and there. But know that they're doing their part of their journey, and you'll get to yours, not the spirit world, but you'll get to that part of your healing when you're ready. But see, as a medium, it is our job to be the voice of the spirit, and we don't control what they say. In fact, if I was to ask you, what were you getting up to last night? You're well within your rights not to tell me. Do you think it's any different just because you don't have a body anymore? Definitely not. So whenever you go for a private sitting, whether it be mediumship or a tarot reading, always be open to what you may hear, because I could tell you exactly what you want to hear, or I could tell you exactly what you want to hear, and it mightn't be the best thing for you, you know, but it's what you need at that particular time. And we gotta trust that, you know, our needs are going to be met when we ask those questions of our spirit family, or when we go for that tarot reading. You know, sometimes our needs will be met in unexpected ways. They don't always know better than us, and I'm not saying that we should live our life by what a medium says or by what a tarot reading says. Not at all. But sometimes it's good to take the blind spots off and to look at things a little bit differently, and very much understand that the job of a medium is to provide that healing. It's not to give you lottery numbers, it's not to tell you when you're going to meet someone, but it's to be that point of connection between the spirit and your spirit, because it's a soul to soul communication. Your loved ones, my soul to your soul, and that's how it happens. And it's absolutely beautiful, and I love mediumship, I love psychic. I just think it's fabulous, both aspects of the work, so much so that, like, I've created 2 accredited training programs. Like, my tarot training program is a 6-month intensive. It's not a wee 4-week intensive, it's 6 fucking months. It's internationally accredited and it's kick-ass. I also have my mediumship mentoring program, which again has international accreditation. It's 8 months, it's so thorough, and that's only level 1. Level 2 is being created, because I'm so passionate about this work and demystifying it and letting you understand that, you know, yeah, you can connect with spirit. Are you maybe going to be a medium? Well, not know until you get there. But we all have those faculties within us to really help us be that fuller expression of who we are. And I think that's just beautiful whenever we step in to our authentic selves, be that beautiful version of us in whatever way that looks like. And that is, again, it's a fucking hill that I am willing to die on, because I see so many people that are going through life alone that don't realise that, you know, there is that spirit team supporting you. And I don't mean your guides or your angels, but sometimes yes, but your family is there supporting you, and you're not going through it alone. There is people like me, Penny and Carl and Linda out there that are willing to help and support and give you guidance and direction and help you smooth out those little rough patches. You know, there is so many different routes out there that you can go to really be that more authentic you. And like I've said, that's just fucking beautiful in my opinion. And that's the reason as to why I'm so loud. It's because I want you to know that you're not alone, and you will never be alone. And there is the help out there. You have that soul within you that is wanting to be a fuller expression. And you get to be that fuller expression by connecting with other people around you, by learning all these different things about who you are as that multifaceted, multi-dimensional, absolute kick-ass, beautiful human. And I really want everybody to begin to embrace those things. And now I'm sounding a little bit soppy, so I think I'm just gonna wrap up. Guys, thank you so much. Same time tomorrow, different suit, maybe if I can find a shirt. Different speakers. I will send you out an email very soon with contact details and how to submit questions for tomorrow's speakers. We have a fantastic lineup tomorrow. I hear your host is fucking gorgeous. I'm single, guys, if anyone's in Gozo is looking, or Malta, but you have to come to me. We have Brenda Shanky tomorrow, who is a meditation and mindfulness expert. And she's going to be talking about meditation, mindfulness, and how you can apply that to your life to really get the best out of your life to help you cope with your issues. And you'll get an email that you can reply to and go, this is what's going on, how can we help? Then we have the fabulous Dr. Tina Heath, who is a transpersonal psychologist, spiritual hypnotherapist, international best-selling author. Insert another title in here. She has more titles than me, let me just say that. And she is giving a full-on presentation tomorrow, so I'll get to have a wee break. And she's going to be doing a group hypnosis for us all to experience what is holding us back, to break free from it. And not only this, I'm putting it out there now so she can't say no. I'm also going to be getting questions off you guys because Tina has created a program called Slim for Life. So you'll also get an email a little later going, what questions do you have in and around food mindset, weight loss, where are you struggling? And we'll get Tina to answer those. So she may be on a bit longer than just the time. But now I've said it and you guys have heard it, she can't back out, can she? Definitely not. And then we also have the remarkable Angela Dunlap, who will be talking about mediumship. And I am going to bring someone on live, and I will do a little bit of mediumship for someone who will be picked at random. So you need to, be sharing and saying how beautiful I am, and you may get a little email tomorrow morning going, would you like to join me at this time? For maybe a 10-minute reading. Maybe I'll do 2 of them or 3 of them. Who knows? But guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed my virtual spiritual summit. I'm going to crack open a bottle of bubbles as I head round to Penny's house, who's just round the corner. Well, she's about 3 villages over. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. And remember, drink your water, eat your vegetables, and stay away from fuckboys.